Is Bidenomics working? A look at the second-hand markets tells another story. Hello, this is Chart GPT today. Well, we've been being told by President Joe Biden that the Bidenomics is working. Maybe at the high level, some of these numbers look pretty good for him, but if you dig below the covers, things often look a little different. I'm going to take a look at the second-hand markets here. These might include the flea markets, second-hand shops, etc., etc. How are they doing relative to what they were doing before? Here, take a look at this chart here. It's the buying of second-hand is gaining popularity. You've seen a lot of these second-hand shops, clothing, material, flea markets are another source of these. And it looks like society is, for some reason, mostly financial, but it could be cultural as well. But people are now embracing it with more and more frequency here. You look at these various countries around the world, and you can see from United Kingdom, United States, both are around 22% relative to what they were going back a few years from 2019 to 2023. So it's gaining in popularity, which is kind of interesting here. Look at the country breakdown, where the economies tend to be worse than what they were. That's kind of pre-COVID. They've done worse in terms of, or better in terms of their popularity, but it also indicates that the economy may be under pressure. For example, France is at 42% improvement. People are having to buy more secondhand than before. Germany as well. Of course, Mexico economy is doing a little bit better, so it tends to not do as well. Brazil, Spain, part of that EU. The EU situation is more problematic than, say, the U.S., so you'll see higher rates there. And South Korea is kind of going in the middle there. So it's kind of an interesting when you take a look at those kind of statistics here. So you look at the size of the retail and thrift store apparel market worldwide. After the pandemic, they've just kind of skyrocketed here. So it's quite amazing the growth in that. And of course, thrift and donations are going up. Looking at who's doing this is primarily the Generation Z. That's probably because they are probably one of the more poorer generations. When you look at the different generations from post-World War II, boomers, Xers, millennials, and the Zers are doing the worst. You can see the younger you are, you tend to embrace it a little bit more. So that's quite interesting to look at those statistics. And then when we see the flea market, which is another part of the secondhand business, they're set to grow. The market for the future is set to really grow. So this is a growth area. So if you're looking for a business to get into, this might be an area to get into, because the secondhand business is going to be off the charts here. You can take a look at these. Some of these are going to grow by 3- and 4-fold over the next 7, 8 years here. So interesting growth patterns there. And of course, you see that's a breakdown in different countries. Pretty much uniformly growing globally as the global recession maybe gets into high gear. Of course, you may have seen some charts on this on the used cars. Used cars really took off after the pandemic. Kind of came off, but they're rising again. And you see the supply is shrinking because people are out there buying used cars because they just can't afford these new cars that are coming out. So an interesting story there. Take a look at the AI, and it kind of gives you some rationale. It's not just financial, but there is some cultural issues involved. So take a look at the AI. It gives the explanation why the second-hand markets are growing. And it's basically telling you that people are not as healthy as Bidenomics would tend to make you think. Give us your feel. Why is the second-hand market growing, in your opinion? Is it financial, cultural, or something else? In the post link, you can check out the references to that and take that online poll. Don't forget to subscribe.